Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we're going to take a look at the latest Horus Heresy 3rd edition rules. The new Inductii rules have dropped. This is the third, potentially even the fourth digital download rules that we've had, which I think is great. The PDF rules for this, free, I might add. PDF rules for, it might just be a couple of units here and there. They're building out. Hopefully we are going to start to see a lot more of this in the future. But on the channel, we dabble with a bit of Heresy. It isn't a game system I'm ever going to play, I've decided, but sometimes it's nice to talk about it. And I have got the second Journal Tactica pre-ordered, so we'll take a look at that once that's released in the next week or so. So all I'm really doing is keeping my finger on the pulse a little bit. What I do want to know before we get into this, how are you guys finding 3rd edition? How many games have you played? And what are you thinking of the changes that they made between 2nd and 3rd? Are they justified? Love to know your thoughts in the comments below, as well as any thoughts on everything that we cover in this article. But let's jump in. New Inductii rules send desperate reinforcements straight to the warfront. Though the Saturnine box set focuses on the drop site massacre in the early days of the Horus Heresy, the Age of Darkness rules allows you to recreate moments from across the rich tapestry of its history. The Inductii are key players in the latter days, hastily raised reinforcements pressed into battle earlier than would otherwise be expected, and their unique rules are a great way to add further character to your army. Here's Quinn from the Warhammer Horus Heresy Design Studio to tell us more. Hello Quinn. So this is all going to be in Quinn's words moving forward. The Inductii have been a rich element of the Horus Heresy's background, from their initial mention in the first edition's Conquest book to their full exploration in the campaign book The Siege of Chthoniya. The streamlined implementation methods adopted for those legionary recruits in order to facilitate rapid induction efforts at a massive scale really helps evoke the unprecedented carnage of the Age of Darkness, rendered grimly ironic by the fact that these processes would become the standard after the Horus Heresy. Man, it really did go downhill, didn't it? The new edition of the Horus Heresy gave us the opportunity for an in-depth revisit of the Inductii, providing a full unit profile for every legion's corresponding Inductii unit. Each is still based upon a tactical or despoiler squad, but dedicated space for characteristics, variations, special rules and war gear options allows for each unit to be differentiated and balanced more effectively. This new incarnation of Inductii retains the individual character of the Legion-specific versions that came before, but there are a few high-level changes that players will notice throughout. The most obvious of these is that, with a couple of optional exceptions, Inductii units don't use sergeants. Combined with a couple of reduced advanced characteristics, usually willpower and intelligence, the Inductii are slightly more vulnerable to tactical stresses than your typical legionary, helping to reinforce the idea that hypno-indoctrination and rapid implementation can't match the decades or even centuries of experience that pre-existing legionaries have. That is a point that I love actually, and that's what these new characteristics allow for, which is good that they're utilising them that way. With each unit typically getting one or more defined special rules and war gear options, it is important that they didn't outshine standard tactical or despoiler squads, which still represent the mainstay of the Legion's Astartes. As such, those based upon tactical squads have the Line 1 special rule, while the Inductii templated upon despoiler instead have the Vanguard 2. Neither retain the objective scoring potential of their Line 2 precursors, but each Inductii unit has its own distinctive advantage and playstyle to help them stand out in list building. From the Blood Angel's panic-inducing cannibalism, yeah, okay, fair enough, to the morbid resilience of the Death Guard. In addition to the 18 new units presented in the Legiones Inductii document, the World Eaters, the originators of the Inductii concept, gain access to the Butcher Surgeon Prime Advantage, letting apothecaries boost the combat abilities of Inductii squads they join. Ultimately, these new rules are intended to give players a fun variation on some familiar units and provide an opportunity to further theme their armies amidst the wars of the Horus Heresy. Thanks Quinn, you can download the new Inductii rules right now from the Warcom downloads page. I will link that in the description below, and start building your own from a wide selection of Heresy kits on offer. We recommend the Mark 6 Tactical Squad to represent late Heresy units in the more recent armor mark, which is what they've shown here, that is Imperial Fists with beaky helmets. So Inductii are beakies, is that what we're going with? Let's take a quick look. So you have 18, one for each chapter operating in the Horus Heresy. And it is just right there on the downloads page, so you can go downloads Horus Heresy. This page is also linked in the description below for easy access. So the Legiones Inductii special rule. All army list profiles in this document contain the Inductii special rule, which means a unit containing any models with this special rule may never be used to select a prime advantage. They are basically about as chaff as Space Marines get, aren't they? In this document, and I'm not going to go through each of them, but you have pretty much one page per squad with their rules. Dark Angels, Emperor's Children, Iron Warriors. Some of them do have special rules. The Space Wolves one, Headstrong, is quite fun. Models with this special rule may make a charge. In the same turn they rush, but become stunned and pinned if they fail such a charge. I thought that was quite nice. Imperial Fist supporting fire in the controlling player's shooting phase. Shooting attacks made by models with this special rule, which are part of a unit that remains stationary in the controlling player's previous movement phase, gain the pinning 0 special rule. Night Lords have special war gear, the Killer's Blade. Special rules for the Blood Angels. Eaters of the Dead. A unit containing any models with a special rule may perform a unique aftermath option, causing every enemy unit with at least one model within 8 inches to make a panic check. They basically just take their helmets off and eat the dead. Why not? Or dying. I mean, they don't have to be dead, right? Very grim. Very, very grim. World Eaters have that Butcher Surgeon prime advantage. Goes into there, the Butcher Surgeon and the Exhortation of Butchery. But there's a little bit of flavour, a little bit of flair for pretty much each of these. Not all of them have special rules, but most of them do, as you can see. So that document is available now on the Heresy downloads page. It is available for free, which is great. There is a bit of points variation as well, 90 points to 100 points per squad it looks like. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend I understand all of this stuff. I have a vague idea of how Heresy works, but I am, as you guys know, I am not in Heresy. So once you've cast your eye over this, you've picked out your Inductii squad and however you're going to run your army, let me know what you think of this and any changes between 2nd edition's Inductii squads and this one. Let me know what you think. Are they positive changes? Hopefully they are. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Heresy. As I say, we will be back with a little bit of Heresy, probably early October, with that 2nd Journal Tactica book, which I will do a overview of when it's finally in my hands. But let me know what you think of everything we've covered in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.